AwakeningInAustinTV.com, and we're here with Gary Wimmer at the Town Lake Holistic Fair. Gary, tell us about the very cool thing that you do.
Well, this is called lithomancy. I learned it 30 years ago. It involves 16 stones, 10 planet stones, and 6 on life: Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, where's Neptune? Neptune, Uranus, Pluto, and then 6 on life. This is the luck stone. That's magic or timing. This is commitment. This is the life stone. This is love, and this is place. And I show people how to drop them into a circle. For example, if they come into a circle like this, I start at the center, which is core issues. I read toward the top, which is the start of week 1, and read around for 12 weeks, each hour of the clock representing a week. And what I like about this system, it gives a lot of information about a lot of different issues and how they interrelate. I learned this 30 years ago from a very gifted psychic, and from the time I learned it, I was just fascinated with it because of how much information it can reveal. So that is 30 seconds, or maybe a little more, how lithomancy works.
And you have a book also, right?
I do have a book. I wrote this book, Lithomancy, the Psychic Card Reading Stones, primarily because I couldn't find anything about it written. I found a description of lithomancy all over the internet, but no books on actually how to do it. So I've written a comprehensive book about, how to read patterns in the stones. And I made a couple errors in there I'm correcting. A few typos I noticed after a couple editors, so there's a newer version coming out. But yeah, it's the only book that's ever been released on lithomancy.
So how can people get in touch with you?
They can Google me. They can go to GaryWimmer.com/psychic. That's GaryWimmer. They can Google Gary Wimmer. They can Google Reading Stones, because my book, Lithomancy, the Psychic Card Reading Stones, will show up on the top, and they can find links to me there. Or they can Google Lithomancy. So it's Gary Wimmer, GaryWimmer.com, GaryWimmer.com/psychic, Lithomancy, or Reading Stones. Any one of those words you put into Google, they'll find me.
And the thing that you do is for 3 months, so it'd be good
Correct.
for somebody to come and get this done every 3 months, right? To see what's coming up.
Yeah. I mean, it's sometimes it goes longer term depending on how many stones laying outside the circle. But it basically, in general, covers 3 months. Sometimes a little longer.
Okay.
And it covers a lot of different issues. That's what I really am fascinated by. So it's I don't ask any questions. When people drop the stones, I just read them. There's so much information in the pattern, I don't need to ask questions. I may ask one along the way just to get some clarification. But the pattern itself just has so much information in it that I don't need to really ask anything.
And is this something that you have to do in person? Does the person have to be physically with you?
No. In fact, about 10 years ago, I wanted to see if I could do it over the phone. Mm-hmm. So I called 3 people who I'd given readings to in the past and asked if I could experiment with them, so to speak.
Right.
And I designed a system on the spot, which is basically, I'm charging the stones up. I say I'm ready. You say drop whenever you feel like it, and when the person would say drop, I drop them and read the pattern.
Oh, nice.
Worked the first time. In fact, the first lady I tried on said it's going to be about me or you or nonsense. And a couple seconds into the reading, she said, no, you're talking about me. So I tried with 2 other people that same day. All worked. So that's the system I use. Haven't changed it since.
Great.
Works perfect.
So when people go to your website, then they can get in touch with you about having a session?
They can get in touch with me. They can see a lot about how this is done. They can see about books I've written about this, and a ton of light experience I had in the early 70s.
Okay.
A lot of information on my website, GaryWimmer.com/psychic.
Great. All right. Thanks, Gary.
You have a good day. Thank you.
This is AwakeningInAustinTV.com.